Hello everyone, welcome to your 18th C++ Cube game tutorial. We're going to go ahead and quickly pick up where we left off in the 17th tutorial. So if you recall, we are in the phase of planning for our game. So what we've done is write some notes on the general gameplay, and then we wrote down a list of classes that we may need and attributes and methods for those classes. Now the next thing that I do after I have a list of classes is I start on a new page. I start what I call a draw board. And here I basically draw the different states of the game. So let me just pull up the drawing board. Okay, so basically let's say this is our window. Let me go ahead and change the color and thickness, pen, black, that, okay. Okay, so this is our window. And basically in the beginning, I just want a little menu that has the title. We're going to call this Hex Wars with a Z. It's cooler that way. And then, let's see, we're going to have two buttons. We're going to have a play button, and then we're going to have a quit button. And these are going to be buttons, so I'll just put these little boxes around them. Okay. And now, as you can see, during my planning phase, I have discovered a new class. I need a class that represents a button. So now it's very easy for me to add that to my plan. If I had already coded it, and I had discovered the need for a button, what if the button just didn't work out with the way that I coded my game? So this is basically a chance for me to ask myself, okay, I need a button. Will it work with the other classes that I have? And for a button, yeah, sure, it will work with anything. But there are times when you discover classes that just don't fit well with your current classes. So that's another reason why you should generally try to do a little bit of planning at least before you jump right into the code. Okay, so we've discovered a new class. We're going to need a button class. So let's go ahead and add that to our previous classes list. Okay, so this will inherit from QGraphics rect item. It'll just be a rectangle with some text in it. So inherits from QGraphics rect item, okay? And then, so what attributes? It will have a text, basically the text of the button, obviously. And that's it. We're going to give it a few methods, though. Clearly, we're going to give it a method, the onMousePress, because this button is going to have to respond to being clicked. So we're going to have to override that. And then we're also going to learn about two new events, on hover event enter and on hover event leave. So we'll learn about these in a little bit, but you can probably guess when these events are triggered. And then we're going to also give it another method, and this is going to be a signal called clicked. We're going to emit our own signal. Now, this is the first time that we're going to be doing this. So you guys are going to learn how to make a class that emits signals. Previously, we made classes that have slots, but now we're making a class that has a signal. Okay, so we're going to learn about that. And okay, so let's go ahead and go back to our draw board. So when the player clicks quit, obviously the window will just close and everything is done. But what about when they click play? So let's go ahead and draw a little arrow like this, and we're going to specify it. This is because they clicked play. Now what we're going to do is basically we're going to generate the GUI. So up here we're going to have player 1, and then right over here we're going to have player 2, and then right in the middle somewhere we're going to have basically whose turn. It'll basically say something like player 1's turn, something like that. I don't know how to make this work. So turn, okay, specify whose turn it is, and then we're going to have either player 1 or player 2 up there, and then we're going to have a little box for to house all the hexes that the players can place. So over here we're going to have a little box filled with all the hexes that player 1 can place, and the hexes are randomly generated. And then here we're going to have the hexes that player 2 can place. And right in the center we're going to actually have the hex board. So I don't feel like drawing a hex board, so I'll just type this is the hex board. Now this is where the actual hexagons will be drawn. So when player 1 places a hex and then player 2 places a hex, if they're adjacent to each other, we're going to see which side has a greater value, and then that one will conquer the weaker one. Okay, so now let's say that the whole hex board is full and we count basically who has more hexes. Okay, so this is the winning screen, so somebody has won and we want to notify them that they have won. So let's just go down a little bit so you can see this. Okay, and basically what I want to do is I want to darken all of the background. I don't want to get rid of it. I just want to give it a dark tint, and then I want to pop up a new window. So we're going to pop up a little window like this, and this window will basically display who won. First of all, it'll say something like player 1 won, and then it will have two buttons. One is called replay, and the other one is quit. These buttons will do similar things, just like what they do in the main screen that comes initially up here, right over there. Okay, so let's go ahead, since these are buttons, just to be consistent, we're gonna box them up. Okay, there we go. So it looks like, let's see, this one is gonna be a fairly short tutorial, which is good. Okay, so now, as you can see, we have written a document that describes our game, its gameplay, and then we have specified a few classes that we might need. Now this, I'm just thinking about this now. Later on, while I'm programming, I might come up with new ideas. I mean, not might, there's pretty much an almost 100% chance that I'll come up with new classes that I might need, or at least new member functions. And I'll just go ahead and update my design. But this lays out a pretty good skeletal or framework for us to build on. Now I have a pretty high level, big picture to look at. Rather than starting somewhere and just coding right into a function, I have a high level picture of how my entire program fits together. This will help me actually implement things faster, and more importantly, it will help keep my code more maintainable so that I can extend it with less trouble. If you just jump right into the code with no planning, you're going to end up with what's called spaghetti code, and really fast your program is going to be unmaintainable. So that's the purpose of doing this little planning phase, and now you can kind of tell that, you know, everything that we talked about is possible. I can make a hex class that represents a hex. I can make a hex board that's a container for hexes. Game class we've already made several times before. The button class seems reasonable. We have a little drawboard with the main menu, the play screen, and then the wand screen. This was a suggestion by the same person, Fier. He said if I could make a complete game, so that's why I've included both the menu and the ending game. I'm going to try to make this game as complete as possible. Okay, so that's the end of the planning phase for now, but oftentimes I mix planning with programming. So you guys are going to see that in later tutorials though. And again, please give feedback. I really appreciate the feedback. Let me know if I'm going too fast or if I'm going too slow, or if there's something that I have not covered that you would like me to cover. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the next tutorial. Bye-bye.